as more and more people figure out how good this champion is.
I love it. One of my favorite champions to watch on the Rift, especially how that support role. Vi going to come through and save him away from giving up first blood there, at least burning a flash.
Well, it's something. Can Joshi survive this? Because we're attempting it.
Oh, so slow as getting some autos down. On is taking up the turret and flashed out just at the last moment. Really clinical dive there. But because he, alongside Shadow, will soon have access to those game-warping ultimates. We might see them make a debut before his ults come around here, as Sheer does have the lava carpet, and Bin is completely caught out with no flash. Bin is just dead here.
They're going to give it over to JJ, but pretty much a solo kill here for Sheer. I think he gets that even if they play it out completely. Meanwhile,
look out for the stray cannon minion. Oh, the cannon minion's got heal. The cannon minion's got hands, but it's not enough to get taken care of. Just has to burn its flash.
Okay. I mean, that's going to be Dragon going over to BLG, but still getting that economy out of the Gwen. Let's see what Sheer can do. It did say it's 10 plays on the
job, gaining some resources despite Bin's mess up.
Well, I mean, at times that's just BLG.
Oh my God, the Q into Dwayne to stun him into the cease and desist. Shadow is styling on his former team right now.
Absolutely beautiful from Shadow there.
I will never forget the great lethality virus of 2025, I guess. Okay, hold on. Here we go. JJ with the Cyclone is able to catch Knight a little too far forward. Got to flash himself out because he does not have access to Between Worlds just yet. So good cover for Care, and we'll see how much that allows FPX to mosey their way up towards the grubs. But JJ not having Cyclone makes this a treacherous task, and Pop Blossom dodged by a nice little magical journey there out of Dway, but Elk is transcended, and he's flashed right over the only ability that stops him from solo killing Jachi.
Yeah, no, need to burn cleanse. He can flash over the Chain of Corruption like Pop. Beautiful flash, get over the Chain of Corruption, and that's a pretty juice cannon minion there. As Jachi falls, and oh boy, not again.
They're using the minions. Remember, the turret doesn't ramp up on the minions. This is just bullying from On and Elk.
This plays it in here, so JJ has rotated, and Jachi has rotated. It looks like that Dragon is not going to be on the menu for FPX instead. Try and get a piece of it.
It does have exhaust. I think that plays a huge role depending on who he's able to drop.
I think he's dead.
It's also 4 versus 1. Yeah, I feel like he's just as good as dead. There is the lava carpet and the knockups all landed, but JJ takes a good lick of damage, and that's going to TP in here, but a flash magical journey saves all. JJ escapes with his life.
Those are the hands from JJ. Great reaction there to get out of the queue from Knight. They've rotated back around too. Let's see if we can find Knight.
Oh, Chains of Corruption. Knight caught napping. And he is going to go down to the flame spinner from Sheer. Tempered Fate also locks On up and forces him to turn forward the Pop Blossom, but the heal is not enough. JJ survives. Dway diffing that play from BLG.
This is a great play and call from FPX that was for sure disrespected by BLG. The rotation around so on point. There's Cares.
Elk immediately cleanses the Timber stun. I don't even think they really even need Shadow. Diving means there's a turret there, and, well, Shadow actually is here for the structure instead.
Like the world that we're in with Elk and Bin. The only concern is, are you always going to be able to auto that?
JJ is caught On out as his teammate was resetting, and they guessed right on the clone. JJ's impact instantly felt so far in this game 1.
On caught out, no Pop Blossom available, and a Rift Herald likely to fall in favor of FPX, so the good plays continue.
Here's a problem spot for BLG is they overforce in spots. They're just disrespecting their opponents. His 2 flashes immediately gets that Yunar picked off. The Tempered Fate also is going to grab Shadow, and Timbers wants to lay his paws in on the BLG jungler. No Vault Breaker, it's just a stun. And it's more and more stumbles and trips into this mid-game for BLG.
That 0-4 Jachi, he's back in the game. His brother took control. And
who's boosted now?
Yeah, and in terms of BLG, I just think that we're taking some real fights and decisions. As Knight going to try again.
Yeah, you want to see another one? Here's a Pop Blossom. Bin teleports in. They still have their turret up, which is actually really huge. JJ, this time the Magical Journey cannot save you from the might of the turret. Bin not going to look for more with that needlework, but Bilibili
has down numbers, Slayer. Thought they had enough strength to win it regardless, but the execution has just been better for FPX.
Oh, sure, all right. 10th game of Rumble, he's comfortable testing the limits of his damage, and Knight, we're going to try and forget that one on your MVP campaign. They actually keep rolling nonetheless. BLG have completely cut Chovy out. And a good. This is so boy with a Hex Tech Soul. So powerful, whichever team's able to grab control of it. Shadow going to start that one up. Knight up in mere seconds. He'll have a TP angle towards the bottom side of this pit, so he doesn't have to TP away from his team. They can hold this front line. His own is actually going to respect flash away from JJ. Sun comes across. JJ, do you have a steal in you? Yes, he doesn't need to steal it because he just killed off Shadow. There's the dragon secured. Bid's going to try and kite back towards Elk, but here comes the Tempered Fate. Not going to hit on either member, so Yunar has to flash over the wall and burn that cleanse as the might of FPX is front-loaded.
From his team. It's hard for Elk to play these fights out because the Pop Blossoms desync, Shadow's going down early, and a lot of the other tools around him, it's just damage. Speaking of damage, here, goodbye. That's some revenge for Knight. Trades out the solo kill in the side lane, but still, you know, Elk on the Inara, he's 3-1.
JJ thinks he's sneaky in this brush, and he's been on the ward this entire time. Luckily, not enough to execute damage over the wall from On and Knight, but JJ now, with no camps on this top side, he is forced to take a reset. Oh, no, it's redemption here to keep him around. So Otacon isn't a freebie for BLG, but they kind of feel like it is. That Tempered Fate is a vision one. Yeah, so now that kind of fight-altering ultimate's off the board here for FPX, I don't think they can really force their way in here. JJ's still pretty hurt, but they're going to look for the engage on to Care this time. Elm trying to set himself up with the Transcendence, but the Between Worlds with Bin's damage is more than enough to take JJ down. Here comes the Lava Carbon, really well positioned. There's no jungler left, and the Otacon has completely reset, and that throws a huge wrench in any Otacon plays for either team.
Well, that was chaotic as the junglers fall. JJ was taken out immediately. FPX used their ults pretty nicely there to make sure that things were evened up. As gonna return to the wave.
Carry top laners, yeah, we can kind of force objectives on our own. It's sometimes been top laners taking dragons on their own. This time it's Shadow and Bin on a little sneak mission of their own, and they're gonna reap all the rewards here. Otacon seem to go down in mere seconds, and what's the worst thing? You trade dragons 2-2?
This is fine for BLG. I mean, Otacon is going to be a lot of power in terms of levels, which I think they really need on their side. Just really strong with levels advantage too. And yeah, you're getting an advantage until you're giving up a Hex Tech Soul that's permanent. Well, if they get a big enough advantage, then all of a sudden Hex Tech Soul becomes your advantage potentially. So that's going to be a target from Jotchi. And meanwhile, Shadow looking to really threaten that mid-outer. Here we go.
Right, Edge of Night already taken down. Tempered Fate, though, is going to stall Jotchi's execution. Pop Blossom going to hold Gen.G's clone at bay as Ben wins his 1v1 with Sheer off to the side. But Care is able to drop Shadow off. Both jugglers again trade out very early in the fight. Clutch Pop Blossom from On. There's no way for Elk to get in. He just can't get reliable autos down. He did. It's a completed.
A lot of flashes missing. A lot of flashes missing.
Started. Yeah.
No flashes on BLG. I want to see if that
Care has
goes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Care jump forward this Timbers. Now is the Bard with the Spellbook Smite. Gets the Dragon, but JJ goes way too far forward with the Hexgate. Tempered Fate bails him out. The Bard diff really starting to manifest a lot in this game for Jouet.
I mean, that was massive, because that's almost a scenario where it's a win for BLG. As JJ slinks out of there, he's going to lose his like that. It's been a decent performer, a solid, decent performer on a team that, of course, has really struggled in group descent.
Big time plays in the biggest moments as once again he finds a Tempered Fate catch on a Shadow, chains the Corruption down next. Piercing Arrow going to chunk him down to half. You have to rely on that red buff for a lot of his healing and maybe some of the camps. So for now, FPX will get control towards that Baron, but how much value can you get out of some of those ults you've already burned as JJ gets caught by a big Pop Blossom and On. Make sure that he trades his life with the junglers. Win for BLG now. They have a much superior smite left up on the board, and they're going to try and take control of the Bear Pit or look for more as Care sends Shadow on a long ride, but it's one back towards the fountain. Another quick trade, 1-for-1.
I mean, they traded up, I guess, the second time as junglers and supports are both down. Now Bin pressing R.
It'll work, but he gets Timbers dropped, even though he tries to stasis it with the Gwen passive. The Zanyas forces out the E from Sheer. He's able to get that first kill. Jotchi, though, is down as Knight gets just enough damage out, and Elk is going to take the turret up through the stasis and help Knight knock down FPX by, again,
fight. Kind of sloppy, though. That 3v3, I'm very surprised they ended up taking that.
But with how sloppy that last fight was, there's no real Baron play. Just JJ losing control over a Scuttle Crab that he now has to pay with a flash and the Tempered Fate out of Jway, so JJ's over-aggressive positioning.
Coming in from Bin, they're going to probably just have to slam the Rumble TP now, but is it too late?
Looks like it's too late. Jway has no hero smite to help out, and JJ, Cyclone just used defensively. They do catch on off to the side, but Elk is able to put some serious damage down. Karen goes into the stasis. Shadow is out. Sheer flashes after him, and Chachi's able to grab Elk and knock him down. Bin saves the fight for the second by trading out Sheer, but JJ and Jway are going after him. No stun lands. Bin trying to kite back using the scissors to the best of his advantages. The soul lanes of BLG that have to hold up tall, and Knight slams the golden left hand down on the head of FPX. No, sir. No fight win for you. Knight triple kill.
Is it an overchase? Is it not? Who knows? Regardless, Knight with the flash made it happen. And they got
the biggest moments where he has to have that impact, and like an MVP, the most valuable player on your team. Now, as we talk about, he gets caught by the Tempered Fate, but all looks for an immediate turn with a 3-man Pop Blossom. Knockem's still going to come on tonight. JJ has the GA, so he will come back up, but Elk is right in front of him. He needs to get these autos down. JJ can use the Trickster and the Cyclone to get out. Bin's needle work, not enough. The heal comes through. Elk's trying to push the Transcendence to the maximum form, and it'll help get just enough damage through to drop JJ and Jway. And with Shadow revive,
so good for FPX, and it was, but once the ults were down, they don't have the DPS to keep up with the Gwen or the Yunara. They're online. BLG have scaled.
Chachi, no! Doesn't get it blind. Bin might try and run him down here. Change the corruption still up. I think Chachi gets out, but that's Baron finally knocked off the map.
Pick up for BLG. You gotta imagine if Kara is there with stuns or Tibers, is BLG and is Elk able to
unless Knight gets that big of a combo into two members, and just like that, bye-bye turn.
No.
Even 3 picks in. BLG are damage rich. Are they able to siege well? Shadow flashes away from the Timbers really well, so he doesn't get popped as Knight dropped in between worlds. JJ forced out of the fight, and Care once again the victim to start things off for BLG, and Elk trying to really max the transcendence of his Yunara as best as possible. BLG have to be a bit wary, though, taking their siege towards the Nexus turrets. They have other avenues to play for, and they'll instead Hextech Soul to BLG for the proverbial nail in the coffin. Yep.
Yeah.
We are 15 seconds away from leaving the BLG game time Goldilocks zone. Just keep that in mind, everybody.
Oh, God. You know, no wonder I forgot about that one. It almost feels like a fake stat, even if it's very real. But yeah, BLG, Nico. Yep, that thing spawned. They have 2 butchering hits at their disposal, so we'll see if they can spread them out or use them. All right, there's one. They know.
All right, this time Knight's able to sidestep out of the Tempered Fate, so there goes that big game plan, and Pop Blossom is through on to 2, and Knight gets onto the back line to drop all of that damage. GA's popped, but Knight is taking heads, not names, grabs himself a double kill just like that, and no Baron needed, just massive loads of damage. Bilibili Gaming gonna take a 1-0 lead in 42 minutes. For the first time in what feels like forever, BLG are winning a post 40-minute game.
Yeah, I mean, BLG, they scaled in this one. You have so feels like Cassante gives them a little bit of what they need, and a team fight as Cassante has never hurt anyone. As that leads to an Insta-Braum response Slayer. And
it's pesky with this red
Sauce
buff.
might. Yeah, I think JJ just has to drop. I don't think he can fight this at all. He's gonna go find Knight, and that's about it.
Yeah, he'll find it. Get the stun down here early. Care close by. Flick back's gonna create some space, and Knight looks like he's running the wrong way, but On's actually here, and remember, Shadow as well is taking this red buff. Care and JJ weren't expecting this kind of a wrap coming through so early. When comes Lightning connects, Care is gonna flash, but the red buff is gonna get the kill.
That was depressing, Slayer. That was an antsy command in our LPL playoffs, and well, the business I'm looking at is still in that mid lane where Knight, after I would say intervention missed.
Hold on, Jway, try to punish on. Unbreakable shield, not gonna hold him long enough. Jway, man, keep talking about it. Continue to beat the dead horse. He just sees things that few other players do. Not too far after, but Shadow on a pickboard feels pretty confident taking this. And FPX, see how upset they are about it.
Stronger, yeah. We'll see what they can do.
Dragon not started up too quickly. JJ's going to flash on top of On. Sets up the double headbutt pulverize with a flash out of the shockwave. Is going to keep Shadow alive. On very low, but full support seem happy to try and trade themselves out. Elk does have to flash forward to secure the first kill. Puts him in a pretty uncomfortable position. The flick back not going to land because Gen.G flashes over it. Shadow going to look for the trade very desperately. Does use the move, becomes lightning, able to get the kill and the heal. But Knight is out of mana, and JJ's got enough behind his spear to find that kill. Knight trying to use the complete usage of all of his mana to pick up this last kill, and he will get it with the flick back and the flash over the wall. Knight gets himself out. It's only On to TP back in.
Oh my god, what a fight. We just threw everything at it. As On TP's back in.
Turns to a sense of normalcy in the LPL, even when Shadow tried to buck the trend of those late Drake takes. But back in business here, leaning on another winning lane for BLG, which has been quietly so far. Gonna use that pressure to grab all 3 grubs uncontested.
That feels good, man. So hard to fight. Renekton with Dominus up at this point of the game and a pickaxe. He is so big at those early fights. Punish an entire team, but those grubs locked down. Well, JJ. Yep.
Oh, they're diving Elk on. Your AD carry's gonna need some help pretty quickly here. Trying to get back to the turret, still gets stunned. Topo strikes back, but there's the all-out, really well positioned from Sheer. Gets Elk away from his turret. Knight TP's back in, Seismic shoved down. Shield goes up for JJ. Spite stun's gonna come across, but FPX have numbers here. BLG have no way back in to avenge their AD carry.
Oh, Shadow. He did take the blast cone over the wall, so they're going to long chase FPX out. I mean, if they
sort of, willingness to not quit. I just think that JJ has found decent angles. You're starting to see maybe in this game more that he's making more proactive calls, Chovy, that I think we're missing.
All out later on. Yes, please. Care with a shockwave. Potential to do more damage than fight than Talia. Gen.G as well on the Corki could do some work later. I think it's kind of tough. Like Xin Braum is such a strong center in the front line.
That's that front line.
Yeah, we're good out.
Both supports trade their ultimate. Shadow re-engages, gets the knockup when he comes fighting, holding onto that crescent guard. He's going to have to use it pretty soon here, or Gen.G will take him out. Both mid laners make the roam back over. Elk is sectioned off. Nonetheless, no flashes, no pretty big ultimates used there. Everybody a little bit camera shy.
Don't mind BLG looking for insurance. Gonna reset though on.
I mean, this one before On caught out, but Fanny Knight that has to actually pay the Pied Piper. Joy delivers the shockwave. Knight flashing over the wall, but Gen.G's gonna chase him down. 2 levels down, but still feels like he has enough damage. Picks up the double kill, but look at Bin with Dominus pop. Gen.G already flashed over the wall to get in, and Bin's gonna make sure to expedite his shipping right back towards the fountain, but Gen.G's gonna make it a triple kill before he goes down. More messy fights on tap for this series, Cubby.
Yeah, and I mean, more gold going Gen.G's way.
Items coming through here will make a bit of a difference. Elk does get the Essence Reaver in, albeit a bit late here on this Lucian. Seraph's on tap here for Knight as we have our first pretty big Grand Starfall coming down to try and cover Joy. It does pop the Unbreakable Will. But Shadow and On are able to create enough space here. It feels like for Knight and Elk, it has to be a pretty big shockwave, but Shadow drops the Crescent Guard and executes JJ. Gen.G over the wall still feels confident because the shockwave is going to find and clip Knight, who goes down first. Elk can't seem to find a way in, and Gen.G, once again, making the difference in these fights for FunPlus Phoenix.
It's really nice patience by Care, too, with the shockwave to make sure that Gen.G could clean up the back half as FPX put that quite well. So Elk he took a lot of damage right there. That was pretty force rocket, pretty hard.
JJ wasn't expecting Knight to flick him back, maybe, and Elk's gonna dash forward to try and find the kill, but he hits a shockwave and a Valkyrie right to the head. Gen.G again, just pushing out way too much damage for BLG to ever find an answer for. You can see how much it just hinders all of their forward plays. They can't get past this titan of a Corki.
Honestly, kind of a tough look from Elk. Didn't have the culling, and now
On, I mean, what are we doing there? Grand Starfall is back up for JJ. They're going to get here just in time for a 50-50 to come across. He does not yoink it. Shadow wins that one. The younger hands able to handle the spike key there. JJ can eat the stun, and here comes that dominance up Bin, and that's enough to force Gen.G back out of the fight. Bin making the difference, and Knight swinging on in to try and clean up some of these other kills. He's got Care sectioned off in a 1v1. The Shockwave gonna find its mark, slow down, but he has to flash over. A whip becomes lightning. And Bin still smells blood in the water. Not gonna flash after that kill, but the Bin difference coming through here for BLG, saving them from these last couple of murky fights.
Yeah, I just didn't think that FPX should take a big numbers fight. I think that you would be powered down in terms of advantage. That the Pantheon didn't find the setup, but eventually the setup mid. Elk be able to skate out of this one though. Shui has flash. Yep.
Yeah, and he's just going to make sure to commit it. Elk does flash as well, but they still are able to layer that second stun, and now it's JJ getting a 2-for-1 special on flashes there. Elk caught out.
Yeah, it's nice E by Knight to at least try and force Pantheon against casting a W, but doesn't happen. The Rift Herald's going to fall, and FPX again showing they can make some plays. It hasn't been anything too fancy, too complicated yet, outside of I think a couple of nice Shockwave holds by Care, but it's getting the job done. And the gold allocation for FPX, I know the gold's pretty close on the scoreboard, but look at who has the gold on FPX. It's so much better.
Oh no. Gen.G. Flash, put the exhaust on, gets the Winter's Bite stack. Shadow's gonna find that kill. 2.8k advantage in the 80 carries, doesn't matter when he gets run down by Shadow and On. Oh, it just gets worse and worse, Chovy. They lost JJ as well. Dway should be fine here, but they're gonna lose a tier 1 turret on the top side. It's just that undisciplined stench exuding from FPX.
Yeah, that was a good play by BLG. Again, if FPX is disconnected, I think BLG can get away with that. And maybe more here. Okay, never mind. That wall looks a little bit goofy.
Here. It's all good. They find the kills, and now we'll see if they can funnel some gold into Elk. Because find BLG, like the next big thing to come back with up gold overall. It's a pretty even game, but again, the gold allocation is so much better for FPX here. Elk needs gold. He has to catch back up. Being an item,
the same mistake that cost him his life a couple seconds ago. So he gets the hell out of dodge. Are BLG willing to drop this mid-tier or drop mid waves here to dance around with Octagon? No. Elk's got to answer that mid wave.
Yeah, he is. And that's going to give a man drop angle.
Okay. Oh, Glacial Fissure was a bit early, but the flick back from Knight gets on out. A lot of value having the bot tier 1 turret up right now. I think JJ using Red Starfall just slows FPX down so much. Yeah, I mean, Prairie Rock and Gen.G was the angle. Now JJ, look, I mean, this is what Pantheon does when he doesn't have a flanking ultimate. He walks up and gets deleted. Both top laners been TP in here, but FPX, you've got no real rhyme or reason to be sticking around here unless you see a really good fight angle. Because you're down a smite and you're down a key engage tool. So much of the brunt going to be put on Dway to find a unique angle in here as BLG start to melt the Octagon, but Shadow wants the fight. He's going to flash in, gets headbutted out, but the Weaver's Wall cuts Care off for the rest of his team, and the rest of FPX are put into the grinder. Sure, Sheer gets one back, but Elk's flashing after it for the Winter Bite stacks, and it's going to make sure the top laner for FPX falls as well. There's the fight BLG were looking for, and here's their commanding lead.
Great turn from Shadow, their commanding leader, the old one of FPX, to start that off.
Different Shadow makes when he comes onto this team, you know, immediately inserting himself in calls and willing to try and lead a team full of such notable names, and I think that really showed up in that Octagon fight once again.
And that's like the good and the bad of BLG, right? Is that you can, like, these guys are freaks of nature when it comes to them playing on the sticks, but for me, this is always the team that was the brawn and not the brain. We're looking at AL and the MSI representatives. So still looking to see if BLG can double up their brain and make better plays here. I do like how Jouet sat on the ultimate there. That's 2 big ults down for BLG before they pressure this Baron.
Yeah, I think your I think your analogy for BLG got some personification. Here's what's scary for me, Chovy, is if we wait, I feel like we've waited too long for this Baron, but BLG, yeah, it's a good spot to be in. Yeah, just play for Soul. All right, that's Glacial Fissure and Crescent Guard out for very little. So again, some ultimates coming down off the board, but Knight's going to be here and say, all right, guys, let's calm down. Weaver's Wall. Dway's off to the side. We'll get his Unbreakable Will. We'll get the Pantheon ultimate. Sheer, though, throws himself into 4 members of BLG. Luckily, he's taking enough, but In wants seconds. Good headbutt there from Dre to get him out. But out is not good for FPX because the soul is on the Rift in about 9 seconds.
I mean, holy health bar. You cannot overcome Hextech Soul in these games as FPX. So they got to get in here and steal, but they're too late.
Wait, do you have another hero smite in you? No, he doesn't even have it on tap. Instead, he's going to serve a shockwave and a headbutt onto Knight, but he doesn't have enough damage thrown on top of him, so he flashes back out. Look at Chovy. How does he ever get into this fight to deal all the damage the Corki needs to deal? Finally, he'll be able to turn some, but that's just, again, to save some of his members until On flashes back forward, and they catch Chovy again with a two-man seismic shove, flick back. BLG back to their mid-game dominating ways. And they're going to stamp off FPX this season 1 and 12.
Just make sure you can be as strong as possible. Didn't even need the one life. Easy for BLG to secure the Dragons and secure the Baron, and then secure the game afterwards. As BLG really struggled this game.
Yeah. The Pantheon did not get things going. There were some good looks early. I thought his first Grand Starfall was nice, looking for a dive, but it's really hard to find windows to be aggressive into BLG, especially when they draft a comp like we talked about. There just was bred in winning ways from the draft, from bot side to top side. And yeah, they never looked back. So now you've got these kind of desperation heaves as JJ tries to set up a flank on Elk, but again, where's your damage, bro? There's nothing left. He barely tickles Elk and goes down just like that. Chovy tries to deliver another shockwave, but it is just too little, too late, FPX. The sunset has passed. The twilight has arrived on your Rumble stage. And it's BLG, the Grim Reaper, looking to send them to play-ins with one measly series win in all of Group Ascend.
BLG, I know that, you know, this was an expected win. Game 1, I feel like, took a little bit longer than what it should have taken for them to win that one. But this one, I'd say right on schedule. It was a bloody game, but it was always in their favor. BLG take care of business and take down FPX. Shadow takes down his whole team both times they met on the